This broadcast is monitored for devotional consistency. Please remain indoors until the sound has ceased.
Good evening, citizens of Hive Gloriana. This is your sanctioned voice in the static, your comfort in the recyc wind. Tonight we will rejoice in renewal through silence. The choir has been found. The choir will be purified. The flamer teams are on their way. Faith endures. So let us offer reverence to Saint Merman, keeper of incomplete prayers. He was the archivist who recorded every whispered plea that never reached the throne, the broken litanies, the half-uttered apologies, the things said under breath because hope was cheaper than faith. Merman's devotion was endless. He wrote until the words ran out of ink, until his fingers bled vowels, until even the static learned to pray. It is said that when he died, they found his skull filled not with a brain, but with the last syllable of 1,000 unfinished benedictions. You can still hear it in the ventilation shafts on quiet nights. That half word that almost means mercy. Every doubt you swallow is still counted. Every half thought still reaches the ledger. Every mercy you asked for is already filed as a confession. So speak carefully, or do not speak at all, for both are equally audible. For in the end, Saint Merman teaches that faith cannot admit when it is speaking to nothing. Civic announcements. The Office of Ecclesiastical Security has confirmed that the Silence Directive is now active across all choir sectors, sub-levels, and any unfortunate households with good acoustics. Citizens are reminded that this is a mandatory spiritual quieting, not an optional cultural initiative. Participation is automatic. You may notice the following during the directive's enforcement: sudden muffling of sound, particularly after confessions. Vibrations underfoot described as low chanting or breathing metal. Occasional screams mistaken for air vents clearing themselves. These are positive signs of faith purification in progress. If you do not hear these signs, please report to your local Office of Silence for evaluation. You may be spiritually tone deaf. The Ecclesiastical Choir Complex is currently under active purification. The process involves fire, pressure, and enough incense to obscure a heresy from orbit. Citizens are reminded that witnessing divine correction is not required for salvation. Attempting to help the clergy is considered obstruction of sanctification, and collecting choir ash for relic use is strictly prohibited, unless pre-approved by the Departamento Sanitas, Form P77, ash, holy or otherwise. Should you experience spontaneous ringing in the ears after explosions, do not panic. That is not tinnitus, it is the sound of forgiveness. Transportation networks remain disrupted. Lift systems are experiencing theological uncertainty. Several have elected to descend indefinitely, seeking deeper understanding. Do not attempt to board a lift that hums in minor keys. Ration distribution has been delayed until the completion of purification operations. Citizens are advised to remain calm, remain indoors, and above all, remain quiet. And finally, please dispose of any unapproved hymnals, acoustic relics, or devotional tuning forks. Burning them is considered preemptive compliance and will be rewarded with additional silence. All reports of auditory phenomena, such as phantom choirs, walls whispering, or flames harmonizing, should be submitted after the directive concludes. Premature communication has resulted in several extended silences. Thank you for your cooperation in maintaining civic tranquility. Your obedience is heard, your silence is holy, and your screams, should they occur, will be treated as background interference. Ration distribution will resume following the conclusion of controlled incinerations. Try to stay patient. Hunger, like faith, builds character. Industrial report. Production metrics remain theoretically stable. Actual productivity is difficult to measure, as most overseers have either gone quiet or been reassigned to the ash census. The Manufactoria of Gloriana continues to operate under Purification Protocol 19D, otherwise known as Set It on Fire and See Who Still Prays. The protocol has achieved a 97% reduction in noise complaints and a 112% increase in devotional stillness. Power diversion to upper habs is ongoing, ensuring the Manufactoria below remain adequately combustible. The Fabrictor of Fire Control reports that the spirit of the machine has accepted purification, although it screamed for approximately 12 minutes before agreeing. Several Servitor lines have displayed exceptional obedience during incineration, choosing to self-ignite in what the Mechanicus terms a spontaneous liturgical conclusion. Replacement servitors are being fabricated from cooled slag, powdered faith, and whatever organic remnants were left of the last batch. Efficiency remains absolute. Morale irrelevant. Machine temples in Sector Delta have been sealed for spiritual cooling. This involves the complete melting of interior components, a process the tech priests describe as allowing the Animus machine to finally get some sleep. Citizens working in proximity to Manufactoria are reminded, do not assist a burning servitor. It is already performing its holy function. Do not report singing emanating from smelting vats. The choir's remnants are being repurposed into insulation material. Should machinery begin to hum in tune with your heartbeat, recite the Liturgy of Disconnect, verse 7. I am not the gear. I am not the spark. I am not the song. The Department of Industrial Harmony confirms that all conveyor belts now move in unison, regardless of power status. When questioned, they replied, "We remember the rhythm." This has been deemed pleasingly efficient and definitely heretical. The stone burns clean, the sound burns cleaner. The workforce of the Department of Industrial Harmony have mostly evaporated, but we are calling it spiritual promotion. Community events. The Office of Civic Rejoining is pleased to announce that public gatherings have resumed in those sectors not currently smouldering. Attendance is encouraged, though not strictly voluntary. The Day of Blessed Absence Parade will proceed through the central concourse at dawn, assuming the concourse still exists by then. Citizens are invited to wave, salute, or quietly disassociate as the procession passes. The parade will feature banners woven from choir robes carried by volunteers who survived the forced integration of Mass. The choir's former chamber, the heretical Chapel of Beneath Light, has been redesignated as the Chapel of Blessed Absence. Its doors are sealed, its pews are ash, and its music no longer leaks through the cracks. The Office of Birth and Replacement has begun its annual Adoption of the Unnamed campaign. Citizens who find unclaimed infants, limbs, or identities may now deposit them at any of the designated collection shrines. Please ensure all biological material is correctly labeled still functional, faith adjacent, or unrepentantly musical. The Departamento Sanitas reminds citizens that mass graves are not official gathering points, unless marked with the seal of cleansing. Please avoid picnicking near unlicensed bone piles. Contamination of silence is punishable by re-education or a brief stint as incense. For those seeking spiritual enrichment, Confession Booth and Desanguinator 7C now doubles as a meditation pod. Simply step inside, close the door, and reflect until the walls finish whispering your regrets back to you. If you exit happier than you entered, congratulations. You've achieved minor transcendence or have donated enough blood to count as pious for the day. Public confessions.
Forgive me, Father. I watched them burn the walls. The fire made the air sing.
Forgive me, said your father. I cannot help the silence is gone, or if it has swallowed the
We were told to sing no more, but when the flames came, the choir screamed in harmony.
All confessions have been received and archived. Several entries were untranscribable due to sustained interference described as breathing within static. Several were deemed musical contamination and are now on the Vox rotation as ambient hymns. Maintenance Bulletin. Reactor stability confirmed. Sub-level conduit sealed with consecrated ferrocrete. Maintenance crews are reminded that the hive's lower sub-levels remain under active sanctification. Any residual noise detected beneath the ferrocrete layers is to be logged as mechanical afterthought and not pleading. Sub-level power conduits continue to emit rhythmic pulses consistent with residual choir harmonics. The Anima Mechanicus assures us that this will clear itself in time. How much time remains a mystery. Do not attempt to sync with the rhythm. Reactor output remains stable, although the coolant has taken on a faint crimson hue and occasionally hums in iambic pentameter. Mechanicus Oversight has classed this as poetically acceptable contamination. Flamer teams report difficulty igniting certain sections of the chapel complex. Flames are exhibiting persistence, self-awareness, and strong opinions about hymn structure. Purifiers are reminded to let divine combustion resolve doctrinal disputes on its own. All ventilation shafts connected to the Chapel of Blessed Absence are to remain sealed until the echo count drops below 40 per minute. Should you hear a chorus asking for entry, please remember, these walls do not require confession. Remaining debris will be sanctified and catalogued as relics of loyalty. Personnel involved in the purge are to report for auditory decontamination and optional psychological amputation of memory. Optional in the same sense that holding your breath is optional underwater. Lost and found. Found. Fragments of hymnals fused into slag. No legible words remain. Lost. 4 cleansing teams, seen to have joined the choir mid-purge. Their ashes continue to vibrate faintly when observed. We recommend not observing them. Faith report. Faith levels remain unshaken. The Pharonarch proclaims the Emperor's light has reclaimed the note. Pilgrims report that the smell of burnt incense and naphtha drifting through the hive, described as pungently holy and oddly nostalgic. Morning bells will not ring tomorrow. The Emperor rests, and so must we. Devotional reading. The Liturgy of Extinction, verse 2. We burn not from anger, but from mercy. We silence that the word may breathe again. Where song once was, let quiet reign eternal. or as the unofficial Mechanicus translation reads, if it hums, torch it. The skies above Gloriana are filled with a thick, reverent smoke. A low-pressure front of sanctified ash continues to drift from the upper manufactoria, carrying with it the faint aroma of burnt hymnals and lightly roasted clergy. Visibility in the lower habs is reduced to faith-based navigation only. Citizens are advised to walk by belief, not by sight. Wind speeds are steady, though occasionally accompanied by faint whispering tones in unregistered dialects. Treat them as weather and not revelation. The last citizen who tried to translate the breeze is now a decorative mist. Visibility low, piety high. The mist carries no melody. The mist is safe. The mist is quiet. The mist is not listening anymore. And so concludes tonight's broadcast, citizens of Hive Gloriana. I am your humble host servitor, number 241. Today has been a triumph of faith, flame, and mandatory calm. The choir is in the process of termination. The echoes will be domesticated. The hive will hum once more in the correct key. A low, throbbing note, somewhere between devotion and indigestion. So remember, silence is not absence. It's just obedience, turned up until your thoughts stop struggling. And if you find yourself missing the sound of singing, don't worry. That's what the static is for. It's the Emperor's way of saying, shh. And to our faithful workers in the manufactoria, your shifts resume at dawn. Your contribution to the silence directive has been invaluable and mostly recoverable. The Administratum thanks you for your continued service and apologizes for the loss of any limbs, families, or distinct sense of self. Until next cycle, this is Vox Sanctum, signing off. Stay faithful, stay diligent, and stay tuned. Ave Imperator. Host Servitor 241 was played by Richard Roberts. This week's penitents were Ben Cooper, Ivy Rack, and Andrew Clive Early. Vox Sanctum Gloriana is an Evil Lighthouse production.